Hey everybody, Shawn P. Greene. That's right. Today is June 27th, 2023. And I am back for another edition of this amazing program. I got a lot of things that I did this past weekend, and guess what? I forgot all about it. And this week I had a lot of appointments with the veterans. I had to cancel a couple. Look at my Superman, my Clark Kent swirl in the front of my. Look at that, Clark Kent. So I had a lot of things that I'd like to talk about, but it's quite a few memory lapses when you're going back and forth with all kinds of different things. So bear with me. I am Shawn P. Greene, Shawn Patrick Greene, for those who are proper. And for those who know me as Shawn P. Greene from the West Seneca West days, I'm still Shawn P. Greene. No bones about it. Um, the big news from last week, of course, Moriah's last day of school. And I'm going to go to my pictures real quick. Start with that. Oh, and did you hear that Vladimir Putin almost got ransacked by what have you? Somebody who, I mean, we don't know the whole details, but you got Western media wants to talk about this, Russian media wants to talk about that, Vladimir Putin wants to put out official statements like this, and America, Democrats, Republicans, everybody has their own take on the story. So we will know in due time, I guess. So I got a couple pictures. That's it. Moriah's last day of school last week. So that's the big news around here, anyways. There's one of her teachers, one of her fellow students. Her mommy's tucked away over there. And by the way, stay tuned. I got a life hack that I discovered, and I'm testing out. So stay tuned for a life hack that you might enjoy. There's Moriah again. There's the cake Rosemary bought.
Moriah, you finished? Is Damaris, you finished?
Yeah, I think everybody's done.
Now throw it out. You can go over to there too.
Classroom. You missed the classroom.
Moriah, you gonna miss the classroom?
Yes.
Yes. Well, we certainly will miss you.
We're gonna miss you, Moriah. Who's gonna get our day started?
Who's going to get her day started?
Moriah, you finished?
So Moriah was instrumental in pumping up the group of teachers, Shawn and Rosemary, the two people that have helped create the lovely lady known as Moriah Greene. How about that? And we matched that day. We didn't even try. And that's something. I think the teacher took a picture of the three of us, but I don't know where that's at. Look, this is on the board in the room. It's like the goodbye post inside her room. And what a beautiful setup. So, oh, that wasn't part of that. So this is it. This is like the finale for Moriah from school. She's done. That's all the pictures I really got from her last day from her phone, anyways. That's it. Last week I released the video I did recapping her graduation. So go ahead and check that out. And I think it's in last week's Shawn P. Greene Show link on the YouTube channel, ShawnPGreene.com, if you want to find the link for it. So yeah, Man, what a finale. And we treated the teachers to Popeye's chicken. We had the fixins and everything. We took care of them. We had fun with them. We gave them some gift cards. We just showed them how we appreciate everything they've done in Mariah's development and everyday life. So now she's an adult completely. Now she's in a new programming mode. We've already applied. We're trying to get accepted to a new adult daycare program, and so that's kind of like the new thing. So we'll see how well that works out. That's the next phase. In the meantime, we're doing a thanks, Sandy. Congratulations, Mariah. Hallelujah. She did it. Um, yes. So the next phase for her is that she's going possibly to an adult daycare, pending her acceptance. Could be within the month. In the meantime, we're looking for ways to have respite for us. For there's a budget for it for her to be cared for by people we know, and then we'll also have a system where there's a program you can be hired through community services here in Western New York to actually be an employee as um, a day hab, not a day hab, but a actual self-directed staff for that organization. So that's the other thing we're going to be working on. Her budget basically doubled, so now we have a lot more options we can do to take care of her needs. Um, School or adult day have would be a part of that eventually, but still we got a bigger budget now to work with. So kind of excited about that. We're happy about that. So that's our next phase as parents of an autistic diagnosed human being, 21-year-old. Now, I word my words as careful as possible because I don't say she has autism because I don't believe we are created in the image and likeness of God. So I don't believe that he created us with afflictions or infirmities. So I don't say she has it. Just like I don't have type 2 diabetes, there's symptoms of type 2 in my, right now with me, but I don't own it. It's not mine. It's not my diabetes. It's not her autism. That's right. We don't take ownership in this. Praise God. We don't take ownership in any, especially for if you're a Christian. But don't take ownership of any sickness, and don't say I have this or I am this or that's the thing. That's Satan's tactic is to keep you down. Like I'm an alcoholic. No, you're not an alcoholic. You have you have practiced alcoholism, but you are not an alcoholic, and you are more than an overcomer. If you're anything, that's what you are. So we overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the words of our testimony. So we don't own any symptoms of anything. We just say, hey, there are I'm manifesting symptoms or I'm feeling this. This is We don't confess I own it or it's mine because it's not ours. It's not God's gift to us to have infirmities, no, or afflictions or pains and aches. That's not God's gift to us. Most of the gifts that God gives us, anyways, are spiritual, and the enemy's the one that roams around seeking whom he devour to and fro. So you take that garbage away from me, get behind me, Satan. You take your to and fro and get your to and fro out of here. Yo. All right. So yeah, we have authority over the enemy. It's one thing. Um, It's one thing we have to remember. We have authority over the enemy. Our words are very powerful. Power and life and death is in the tongue, or life and death is in the power of the tongue. However translation you word it, it's worded, however way you want to translate it. But yeah, she was diagnosed with autism. That's just what the doctors reported. And I've seen slow improvement of healing, basically, in my daughter. Like she's talking clearer than she's supposed to, than she was originally when she was younger. Part of it is maturity, just normal brain maturity. Like, you know, 50 years old, I turn, and finally maybe I can think straight. Maybe the fog of all my drug and alcoholism from the 80s, 90s, and partial 2000s, finally cleared up. The smoke is cleared, and God has, delivered me and healed me. So, and that's what I walk in. I don't accept any affliction, any infirmity, any symptom that's trying to come upon me and overtake my physical self, because this is a temple of the Lord, and it's not meant to be messed with. It's not meant to be inhabited by anything else. So I refuse it. And that's how we should live. All right, so no spiritual lessons beyond that right now. I just want to let you know this is what we've been doing this last couple of this past week. And the future is, I believe, bright for us, for her. And right now she is utilizing the resources of respite care with a friend of ours, his wife. So it's a great thing. You know what I mean? These are good things. These are things that allows my daughter to share in the greatness of life. We always take her all kinds of trips. We're always going to the families in Florida. And usually in the summertime, once a weekend, or at least once every other weekend, because, it can get expensive after a while, but we try to take her out to do things. A couple weekends, it was the rodeo. And, she loves the zoo. She loves animals. Maybe because her father resembles a gorilla and she feels close to them. I don't know. That's what I've heard anyways. But she loves the zoo. She loves the animals. She frequently imitates animals. And she usually does it with like a half sign language with voice, like she'll go, ah, that means lion. And she'll go, ooh, that's elephant. And then she'll go, ah, that's gorilla. That's her sign. She wants to go to the zoo. If she wants to go see a farm, well, that's, and then cow, moo. So that's her way of speaking to us of what she wants. And we did a rodeo, so that took care of horse and cow for a little bit, anyways. Hopefully. So, did we do anything this weekend? I mean, Sunday we had church. We had both churches, mom's and mine. We had like an after church fellowship, so we kind of enjoyed that. Both, it's kind of like Sunday fun days, what we call it at our church. So we hung out a little bit with some people, and you meet the new people that have been coming, and then you also, Moriah likes to say hi to a bunch of people after church. Sometimes she likes to say hi to people during service, and interrupt the flow of what's happening. But that doesn't mean that she, her gifting is not welcomed. Where did we go? Oh yeah, Thursday after school, we also had a meeting with community services so that we could keep the ball rolling with the programming that's coming up for her. So really, we didn't do much this past couple days. I'm in preparation of getting Great Lakes Christian Film Festival ready. So a lot of my focus is finishing the review of all these films. And by the way, if anybody likes Christian films and they're interested in being a part of our review board or our board of directors or volunteer, there's a lot of things you can do throughout the whole year. It's not just for one weekend event that we do a year. It's the whole year. We got things that can be contributed to support it. So you can just go to glcff.com and you could find the link for it. Matter of fact, let's just go to it so I can show you, and I'll show you where the link is for it. So congratulations, Moriah. Great Lakes Christian Film Festival, volunteerism, whatever you want to do. There's a link that says about us, okay, and then support. And then you see, all the links are in the main support page, but there's a link directly here too if you want to do it. But this gives you a little description about what entails these different things. So these are different people that have helped us throughout the years, different times. Internship, for people who are in college. Partnership, if you want to just, be a partner of the our team, financially, which would be about 75 a year, and then 175 or 150. There's a couple different levels. Sponsorship, if you're a business, you want to support it as well and be a part of even supporting church function, maybe support a church screening some films. Membership is another option. Volunteer, and then we have a store if you want to buy some product. So those are areas that people that we're always looking for somebody to help out. But we also look for screeners, people who watch the films and rate them, because rating them is a big part of feedback for each one of those filmmakers that submit to our film festival. This year we're still planning it. We're still working on it, but Grand Rapids has been what I feel God was showing me to do. So that's what we're going to continue to work towards, is to have this festival in Grand Rapids, and a lot of people submitting or at least responding to it are in anticipation of it. So we want to follow through with that idea, whatever it takes. So I'm just praying for God's favor on that, and probably return next year in Western New York area, and I'm looking at possibly Rochester, New York. So, but we are open for any city that either borders or is in proximity of the Great Lakes themselves. So that could be anywhere from Duluth, Minnesota, all the way to Watertown, New York, and everywhere in between. Cleveland, Detroit, Grand Rapids is what we're working on. Chicago, Milwaukee, even Gary, Indiana. What else? Cleveland, I might have said that earlier. Toledo, Ohio. Of course, Buffalo, we've had it in our area years, and now we're looking at moving it around so that we can give options for people who have come continuously over the years, but they want to come and maybe experience a different city within the Great Lakes to see just how diverse of a landscape and tourism can be in the Great Lakes. So I love the Great Lakes. I love the area. I love all the different sports teams that we offer. I love all the tourism, all the sites, museums, zoos. You could spend 20 years just touring through the Great Lakes and never hit everything. Western New York has got its share of places to go. Of course, Niagara Falls, which is about 25 miles north of downtown Buffalo is always the favorite spot for people to visit when they come to our film festival, when it's in Buffalo or in the area of Buffalo. So, but there's other places, and we want to spread the love. We want to build community amongst Christian filmmakers, Christian actors, Christian musicians, people who are involved in any aspect of really Christian entertainment and media. So it's all of it. It's not just film, although films are the majority of our community base. There's much more options out there. So we want you to be a part of it if you can. That shot right there on the screen, if you're watching it, has the lobby of one of the places in East Aurora that we hosted it in, formerly known as I-61 Church, right there on Main Street in East Aurora, right across from the movie theater. That's the Aurora Theater and Popcorn Shop. We had it 2021, so that was what a blessing that was, and still get great comments about what happened that year. And this year, we're still working on it. And if you want to help in any way, currently this is a media department of the Bread of Life Church ministry. So we operate under the Bread of Life Church in South Buffalo, and that's since day one. Our first two film festivals, 2015, 2016, and then last year, 2022, were all in the Bread of Life Church. We conducted it there. So, and we've shown how the growth has, the momentum of growth, even after the post-COVID era, we're still gaining momentum again. And I'm really excited about the future outlook of what we're doing. And but I'm always looking for the next phase of people who are in the mode of not only entertaining people for the purpose of the gospel, but also educating, because there's a lot of documentaries. We got wonderful documentaries. And this weekend, if you go to this website, go to the YouTube channel, you're going to see a link for not all, but several. We're rolling out little by little several films that are going to be accepted as official selections. So July 1st is the notification date to all the filmmakers if they've been accepted or not to our film festival. So that's the date, about 3 p.m. this Saturday, July 1st. And then July 2nd is when we start rolling out all the little by little, all the trailers that we have available for each film that we have a trailer for. Some of them, they don't have trailers published yet, or they're not downloadable, or various reasons, but we'll have a list eventually of all the official selections. So that's phase one. The second phase will be the nominees, and then the final end of our festival concludes with awards and finalists and awards. So hopefully that's going to be I'm not just hopefully, I know we're going to have a good, successful film festival this year. So we had 3 venues that we're trying to work on, and it's weird because all 3 of them now have a reason why it can't be done. But I say it's always something we can do. It's just a matter of when. So I don't give up. So this is the big event that I work on every year. We're finishing up the final touches of accepting and or not accepting the films, and we got till Friday to do it. Last night I did a very big portion of the films, people that were reviewing that's on our team, plus myself. We rate them. It's a 1 to 10 in 11 categories. 11th one being, is it faith based? That's real big reason why we're doing this. It's not just is it family friendly, but is it faith based, or is it gospel oriented, or something? It has got to have something. So, what's up, Mama? Thanks for checking in. Um, just talking about the film fest real quick. So yeah, it's got to have an element of faith in Jesus Christ, not just faith. So there are some people that have an uh, ambiguity to the word faith in projects when it's not the faith of Christ, but sometimes it's faith in self or faith in another deity or faith in Mother Earth, you know, material things. So I'm not subscribing to that. However, some stories can get through that are family friendly enough that's not theologically um, unsound, So, yeah, a lot of thought process to it. But for the most part, people that are submitting understand this is a faith based film festival. The word Christian in it, if that doesn't give you an idea of what we're all about, then I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what you're thinking. So that's coming up. So if you want to be a part of it, go to the About Us tab, go to support, and you can go through all these different options. If you want to be an intern, let's just say you're going to, I don't know, you're going to whatever university, all right, and you want to be a part of internship with our organization. That's going to be something that will be available. A partnership, basically somebody that wants to, you know, year after year support and partner with us to continue to help us move on. And there's incentives also for that. Sponsorship for businesses that are supportive of faith-based in the arts and so on. Membership is similar to partnership, but a little different. Volunteerism is people who want to volunteer either throughout the whole year in clerical, administrative style type of things, like support system. Also on site during the film festival week. We'll probably do a 3 or 4 at the most days that whenever venue we finally put it up there, that we'll have people, we'll need people there. And we're looking at, right now, the end of July probably won't be it. Probably be August sometime. And we're still working on the dates. It's all about the venue. And then, of course, the store, I got ball caps and t-shirts, different colors, different styles, and we're working on newer designs. So, and if you're a graphic designer, hey, step it on up, brother. So, and if let's just say you're a presenter of workshops and stuff, we do workshops. We've done several types of workshops now after 8 years. This is going to be our 9th year. So if you are going to be joining us and you are interested in presenting a workshop, let me know. We'll present it to our board members and we'll see if it's something that would work for us. We did a casting call. We had a couple people doing that. We do an industry panel usually every year. Sometimes it's a plethora of people. Sometimes it's producer director focused. And we've also done an acting panel. Last year we did one of those. So industry, director, producer, editor. Sometimes we just do workshops specific for those types of elements or purposes. Again, the support team, transportation was amazing. David Lewis 1 year, and then Uncle Billy is what we call him at my church. Them two guys were just they were outstanding in the support area. So typically you would be in the local area where our festival will be. So Grand Rapids people, if you're watching or listening, this will be the time to consider throwing in your hat. You know, in the throw in the hat. I don't know what the phrase is. Box office. Sometimes we'll have a box office. Depends on the situation, or check-in desks or whatever. Media, trophies, all this other fun things. Volunteers. We had a lot of volunteers a couple years ago. So last year we had a lot of volunteers. Local, some people local, and some people that just were coming. They said, "Hey, what do you need help with?" And they just contributed. So it's open. We're open. If you come to the festival and you want to support it, man, we love to have you. And we have such a great time. And you know, sometimes you'll have one person, or at the maximum. I haven't had two people complain about anything. But sometimes you'll have one person that will say something, but it's very minimal compared to the blessings that they've got, and they know it. But unless they're a competing entity trying to discredit us, I mean, hey, do what you got to do. If that's your spirit, but that's not us. I've been to Christian Worldview down in Georgia, and I've been to International Christian Film Festival 2 years now. So all three of them are those two are great festivals to attend, and I'll never bash them. They really do an excellent job, and they have a lot of volunteers. Now, I would love to have that kind of volunteerism. I would like to have a bigger event that in their size, but we're still bigger than some of the other ones that are out there. Some of them don't even have a festival. It's just a television, and then they just play whatever they want throughout a 3-day period in a small room that fits no more than 20 people, and some snacks if you're lucky. So not bashing anybody, but and not comparing either, because it's faithfulness too that will account to you for the next level. I mean, we are smaller than ever. We had 2 people register year one, and I had 5 people show up, 6 people, 7 people show up. So for the first year, and we weren't, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know if I didn't expect anybody to show up, but people showed up, and so I had to step it up. Every year I've been plotting to do better, and so this year's no different. I want to go bigger, but we can only go as big as possible. So the Shawn P. Greene Show, just want to check in with other developments. What else do I got going on? Seems like I got stuff going on, but I always forget when it comes to coming on the show. Of course, Moriah takes up a lot of time now because now she's out of school, and we're just managing her time and her funds for other people to watch and enjoy her company. So, but we're blessed to have many people that we can call on and bring her to help. Matter of fact, today she's going to Aunt Lisa's house for a couple hours, and with that, we're also, we pay her through the system that they provide. It's not Medicaid; it's funds from community services that they get funded by the state. And I think there's some federal funds that reimburses the state even, but it's not Medicaid, it's not Social Security, none of that's what's paying for it. It's just funds that are already allotted to people with special needs. So Respite Care is a part of that. So if you're local and you want to support Respite Care, hey, come on down. Love to have you. Let me know. You just go to ShawnPGreene.com and ShawnPG716 at gmail.com. And that's also the, incidentally, if you want to donate, PayPal, ShawnPG716 at gmail.com. Cash App, Shawn PG716. And if you want to call in, which I haven't turned on my Google Voice yet, so give me a second here. Now I turned it on. If you want to call in, you can call me, you can text me, you can have a conversation with me about whatever live, and you can all, I don't have any program to mask your voice, so that's not an option right now, but one of these days we'll get there. What I want to show you while I'm waiting for anybody that wants to interact, I want to show you a life hack that I discovered. That's right, I discovered it on YouTube. YouTube's such a great, wonderful place to learn things. Matter of fact, I would argue to say the university system is now obsolete thanks to YouTube, because, of course, primary sources are a major part of research, but YouTube can pretty much take you there and get you started in a deeper area of research, maybe utilize the university system, but even that, everything is online research-wise for the universities. So you can basically do everything from home either way. But YouTube is a good source to give you some input, some ideas about learning things. And life hack is just basically, in my opinion, it's people sharing an idea that they thought up of, creativity, whatever. And here's something that I went to the Dollar Tree for this life hack. It's pretty awesome. Yes, I'm happy Aunt Lisa's watching Moriah too, and I'm happy for both of them, because Moriah loves family, Aunt Lisa loves Moriah, and it works out well. Also, I have a friend of mine who's got a pickup. We're helping Renee. This is for my mother, anyways, and other family members. Renee, my cousin, has a sectional that my cousin Sarah is buying off of, and so I'm helping them move that Thursday. So that's kind of fun. It's good to, and I'm happy that I'm able to help out family like that, because a lot of times people are afraid to ask. How many people do you have in your family that could have asked you and they didn't? So I like it when people ask. All right, back to the life hack. Check this out. Went to the Dollar Tree, and the idea was to use some way to Rosemary's actually with Moriah right now, with a lady that she's with for the respite. So, but yeah, later on this afternoon we might even have some lunch together. So the life hack that I discovered, I went to Dollar Tree, that this lady said, "Hey, look at these little lights. See these little lights? These are cool, $1.25. Take these, put them in your lawns and stuff like that, and these aren't that expensive. Nice and bright." But here's the life hack. Different vases. Just take this, and which I don't have, but you can get a glue gun, or you just glue the bottom part or whatever. If you get a vase or something that's got an opening very similar size, and just put a little glue on the bottom of that. Get a vase. $1.25. Get a vase. I spent $30 today, and this is the new thing that I'm going to try out tonight. I mean, I got the lights on, but you can't see too much, but I'm covering the top so it shows that it looks like it seems like it's dark. But this is going to have a pattern behind it. You can see a little bit on the back. It's going to be at nighttime, because it's pitch black pretty much in front of my house. My neighbor's tree blocks the street lights glow. So it's very dark in front of my house. And I put these up like before with just the poles. But I'm going to try something different with the light and see, like the steps or the posts or something. I'm going to put it somewhere. And as far as I know, nobody's going to try to steal them. So I'm going to test it out. If they steal these two items, that's $2.50 plus tax out of my pocket. So I'm not really concerned. Whereas Some people, they got $25 plug-in lights, and nobody around here. I haven't seen anybody steal any lights from people's front yards, and I haven't had nothing stolen, anything from my front yard, not even packages, amazingly. So I'm trying this life hack. Here it is. And I also bought these. This is like a clear pattern one, but I bought a colored one with no pattern. I got 4 colored vases, and the opening is actually a little smaller than this. So it actually will be like fit right underneath this. So there you go. Life hack. Trying something new. Something real easy and ineffective, or effective and inexpensive, to kind of spice up the front of the house a little bit. And we'll go from there. Because my front house is pretty bland. I'm not a horticulturalist. I'm not a decorative person. I do minimal. I'm a minimalist. It's the best I can do. I just, I think I said last week, I just launched another podcast episode of the Bread Unlimited podcast. And this time my guest was Bob Keebler. So if you're interested in checking that out, that's on my website. You see the tab under podcast, Bread Unlimited podcast. Projects, Eye on the Road is my videos that I'm still producing little by little and releasing them. It's my dash cam footage from all the road trips that I've been taking in the last year. I just started that last April. Online Bible studies, next one's coming up soon, Matthew 24. Too Much Bowl is the production team that I created for competitions. Fudge Witless News, just, when there's an incident that happens and I have a camera or I'm close by, and I try to cover it. That's what Fudge Witless News concept is about. And of course, gaming, which I still haven't done in a couple years. Basically, I was ready to do it during the pandemic because I was bored. Wanted to keep my mind busy, but because I was in college still and I was doing it online anyways, it kept me busy. So I didn't have to worry about gaming as an option of curing my boredom during the pandemic lockdowns. So, but yeah, YouTube is full of my lives. If you go to, ShawnPGreene.com, you go to the lives. Did I add anything else to my other sites? The other sites, I have, of course, I already talked about Great Lakes Christian Film Festival. God Chaser Sports is the fantasy sports leagues that I've been running since 2000. Actually 99, but 2000 officially under the name God Chasers. Flavor Radio Network is the Christian hip hop internet radio station I created. The Shout Out was a podcast I created, one of several that I created back in 2012. That was that one. For 4 years I had that. So there's a couple episodes there still. One Accord DJ Alliance, 2008, we created that as a network for all the Christian DJs around the world. Christian Rhythmic was just a genre-specific magazine, news magazine, that we started off precursor to One Accord DJs, and then Eye on the Road. Once again, that's the YouTube channel to watch it. So, there's a lot of things that I'm building. I'm in a season of building. But even more so, it's not just about building. It's about building things that can last. Internet stuff doesn't last forever, but the knowledge that you can pass on could last a lot longer. But I'm building everything I can online while I'm on this planet, while I can be effective doing something creative that's helpful and positive for people. And so I'm in a season of building, but I'm also, I would say, since last year, about a year and a half ago now, since I graduated college, I've been in a season of studying the Bible, not only the actual written scriptures, the King James Version, some other translations from time to time, Strong's Concordance, as a reference for original texts, but also historical documents from those times from other sources outside of the biblical texts. And I become like a history nerd, man. Like, I'm into the history of things, just the history. And of course, history is subjective to the persons who were the conquering entities of each civilization. From time to time, you'll get documents that slip through the cracks that showed the primary source of a civilization that was conquered, that their text still exists. So right now, a lot of Egyptian, Sumerian texts, a lot of it is tablet forms that are being discovered, rediscovered. The big thing with the Euphrates River, there's a lot of history in the Mesopotamian cultures from the last 7,000 years, or maybe less than that. But there's several things that people are discovering because the Euphrates is drying up, getting a lot of Sumerian, a lot of Babylonian, Assyrian, and other Mesopotamian as a cross route for other civilizations, artifacts, texts, things that are just being discovered that for many, many, many centuries were never known or never discovered before. So that's awesome. Stuff like that. We're talking about global warming and all this stuff, but man, global warming is actually showing history. It's exposing history because all the waterways that were created over time as a result of ice age or the melting of ice caps or whatever, you know, extreme torrential downpours for certain centuries, and now we're getting into droughts and we're getting into global warming, so to speak. So, but with that comes the discovery of new things, new information. The Bible does tell us that in the last days, knowledge shall increase. Of course, I believe that's practical knowledge, that's historical context knowledge of the world around us, but it's also what I feel is spiritual knowledge, and specifically spiritual knowledge of God Himself, who He is, what He did, who we are as a relation to Him. And everybody has their idea of the word God, what that means. But in the way I'm searching and seeking, I know more, I understand more, I seek more, and I'm hungry for more. And in the Bible context, if anything, I'm not just hungry for just understanding and knowledge, but I'm hungering and thirst even more so for God's righteousness, which is not, it's like a counterculture to what people are trying to do in this day and age, is that they hunger and thirst not for God's righteousness, but they're hungering and thirsting for each other. You want to know what's happening in the world? That's the word, that's the phrase I can give you in a nutshell, is they're hungering and thirsting for their own self. They're drawn away by their own lusts. That's all that is. A lot of people who are conservative minded or like trying to, what's going on? And even I've had moments like that, like, wow, what's going on? God reveals in His Word, there's nothing new under the sun. It's happened in Jerusalem. It happened. Their own people were succumbing to the worship of sex, defiling the temples. Different periods. ultimately that was part of their destruction or captivity or what have you. And then also, you know, in the Corinthian times, and other Greek culture cities eventually conquered by Romans, and still the same. They were Greco-Roman cultures was one and the same almost. They still had the same pagan idolatries and worship. So sex was a big part of it. Sexual immorality. So nothing new under the sun. And you say, "Oh, America, oh, what's going on with America?" Well, you've been also remember that you've been indoctrinated into a patriotic colonial mindset for 100, 250 years. You know what I mean? So this is where we're thinking anyways. So we think, "Oh, how could this happen in our society?" Well, it happens because it's always happened. It happens to civilizations that turn away from God, period, or have no God or knowledge of God, period. Which is why we as either Jews or Christians, but specific, we have to be specifically us Christians. We need to know the Word of God even more so than ever before. We can't be deceived. We can't be drawn away by false doctrines. Be drawn away. Even the elect being drawn away to just weirdness, dark sentences. You know, ideologies that are self-seeking and corruption to the body, to the soul, to the mind, and everything else. So don't be surprised what's happening. This has always happened. That's not to say we shouldn't have a voice in this matter. We're in America. We should have that voice because that's what the Constitution allows us to have. But many people are threatened by conservatives having a voice or people with Judeo-Christian values having a voice. They want to silence that. But that's not a fair in this context of a constitution, a republican, you know, a constitutional republic. That is not a fair treatment. If the concept is, you treat them as you want to be treated. Yeah, that's the concept. Okay, but yet they will not treat you the way they want to be treated. They'll do actually militantly and even offensively. Now, of course, it's kind of a backfire from past conservatives that have done the same thing. So, all right, it's ongoing. It's an ongoing challenge to societies to live in harmony with each other in beliefs and truth, But we're supposed to, as Christians, no matter what side of the fence people are on, we pray for them, whether they're our brothers and sisters, whether they are our enemies. And we're not talking about Satan because he's not an enemy that will ever repent. He can't repent. He's already crossed that line, so he's gone. But we're talking about people, souls of men who who are been overcome by wickedness, but can also be children of the light, provided God's spirit drawing them. So everybody has a chance on this planet. Everybody, no matter what they have done and where you think they're going right now, everybody has a chance. Everybody is given the chance. Nobody's exempt from the chance of salvation. So we just pray that everybody comes to the knowledge of God. We really, to me, that's what the end times knowledge is most valuable, is the challenge of knowing God, who He is. And right now, the Word is what's given us that knowledge, and the Spirit of God is also giving us that knowledge. Holy Ghost gives us counsel So, and in order to obtain that, you must be born again. You got to be saved. Um, so you want to have the light in the darkness. Look at this. I'm covering it, and the light shines in the darkness. That's who you want to be right there. You want to be the light. How about that for an analogy? Impromptu analogy. I'm covering it. It seems to be dark, but yet this light is shining bright. That's what you should be, children of the light. No matter how dark it gets, the light is the guiding light for you. You're the children of the light. Jesus is the way, the truth, the life. He's the light of the world, and we are to abide in him as he abides in us. Hallelujah, man. That's all I'm going to say. Oh, yeah, by the way, Shawn P. Greene, ShawnPatrickGreene.com, ShawnPGreene.com, Shawn Patrick Greene. I'm a Christian, in case you didn't realize it. So, real quick, on Wednesday, July, let me get the date straight. Anybody who's in the Western New York area, if you're interested, okay. But every Wednesday, our church, we have Wednesday night service. The first Wednesdays are always prayer and intercession night, and then in the following 3 or 4 weeks on a Wednesday night, 6:30, we have time of worship with music, and then somebody has the word. So July 26th is I'll be on for the first time in, really actually speaking a word as the speaker since, and I looked at this, November 2012 was really the last Wednesday I ever shared a teaching or something. And, it was one of my first times at the Bread of Life doing that. And I was a little nervous. I was a little kind of like, okay, I got to get through it. So, but I do have that on audio somewhere. We weren't doing video podcasts. We weren't doing anything video until 2018. So that's not going to be on the Bread of Life's YouTube channel. But I'm going to try to find that and hopefully put it up one day as a YouTube video with the audio file only on it. But July 26th this year, a couple weeks, I'll be sharing Wednesday night at the Bread of Life Church. You can go to bolbuffalo.org and get all the links for the social media, but it'll be on Twitch, YouTube, and one of the Facebook pages, and retweet it later. And I'll probably retweet it on my own webpage as well, and maybe discuss it if I'm not out of town the next weekend. By the way, 4th of July is this coming Sunday. No, let's go back. 4th of July is next Tuesday. So more than likely, if I'm not doing anything, because if we're not busy, it's like Rosemary, Moriah, they get bored. So it's up to me to entertain. And so if we're not doing anything at 11:30, I'll be back on live next Tuesday. If I'm not, or if there's a plan where I can't be here, maybe I'll upload a pre-recorded something and it will be launched, but it won't be live, and you can't call in, all that stuff. You can't comment live, but it will be like a premiere or something. I don't know how I'm going to do it. So, and that will probably be exclusive, maybe exclusive to YouTube, and then relaunched later. Just depends on what's going on. So maybe next Tuesday I won't be live. Maybe I will. Just depends on what happens. So, anywho, you guys got anything for me Any questions? Any comments? Any concerns? There is something weird. My hair needs to get recut. I got this prickly stuff going on the side. I went to Rosemary's Church, and one of my friends, Carl, says, "Did you do your own haircut?" I'm like, "Thank you." Yeah, I'm not that vain. I don't care. But I try to maintain it a little bit. If you look at some of my looks in the past 15 years, you can tell I'm not that vain. Lately, I've been more clean cut, but in the past, I've been pretty wild with long hair, huge, crazy beard, mustache, you know, whatever. As long as I feel good about myself on the inside, that's all that matters. I like this alpha kind of movement with this shirt I'm wearing. It just does, kind of stays in place. The redness, interesting. All right, I don't got much more to say, and since nobody's commenting or texting or anything, 716-253-1870. I don't know if I had any comments from. I don't know, no mentions of anything, no voicemails, no calls. Very well. This is your time with me. Enjoy it while it's happening live. There might not be any live broadcasts eventually, you know. Of course, this is the one I knew. I like your hair. Thank you, mother. See, this is why I tell people. Some people say, I liked your hair the other way. And these are my friends with the heavy metal influence from the 80s or 70s and 80s, or the hippies. I liked your hair longer. And of course, the hippies are going to love it. You know what I mean? That's expected. But then others, the older ladies in the church, so like church mothers, what do you want to call them? You look a lot nicer. I says, well, I'm doing everything I can to make my mom feel good about me. You know, I'm, honor your mother and father. So, yes, my mother's my biggest fan, of course. So if she's my biggest fan, I got to look presentable for her. Who cares about what everybody else thinks? Because nobody really makes a comment. Thank you, mother. Carol Jacqueline Greene, the tough lady from South Buffalo. Mess with you. You mess with her. You mess with the underdog. She takes care of business. Tony Soprano style. No, I don't think she's ever. I don't know, Mom. I don't know your past. I'm not gonna ask you, but I don't know if you've actually whacked somebody. Put somebody 6 feet under. I don't know. I'm not gonna ask. I don't want to know. Just leave it at that. Mom's the one that's kind of like the equalizer. Stands up for the underdog. Any rate, today at 1 o'clock it will end respite session number 1 for Moriah, and then we'll go to session number 2 with my Aunt Lisa for a couple hours. So Moriah's gonna have a little break in between. We'll get her a little food. I don't even know if she's gonna be fed at this place. I'll find out. Get a little food. Get a little potty break. Maybe change her, and then give her some time with Aunt Lisa, and then we'll go from there. Aha! Here's the explanation my mother has about being the Goomba of South Buffalo. I had to be tough. I had 4 older sisters. They were tougher than my 5 brothers, which is funny because, all the brothers were strong-minded. They were tough physically too. They're always fit. They were always strong. They always had jobs where required some work, physical fitness. Um, and if it didn't require that at a job, they still did it anyways. Uncle Roger was got his own little gym in the garage of his home, where he taught many katas in his dojo, karate. Uncle Jack, I mean, he just turned 80. And he's strong as an ox. Put me to shame. So I gotta change this fudge persona I've had over the years, and just becoming like Uncle Jacked Jack. Tough guy. 80-year-old man. Strongest 80-year-old I've ever seen in my life. Just hugging him, I'm like, man, it's like, those little concrete poles that you can run into with your car, and it stops you from hitting whatever, a pole or a house or whatever, or a building. That's kind of what he felt like. He felt like a concrete pole. Same as Uncle Roger. Uncle Francois too. I mean, he's strong. Overcame cancers. I mean, Uncle Roger. There's a lot of overcoming in this family in the Rangeville side of things. So strong in many ways. So I can learn a lot from Mama's side of the family. Viva la Rainville. All right, so Shawn Patrick Greene. Going to conclude today, just over a minute or an hour. And hopefully I'll be here next week. But actually, I have a plan. I would like to do something else in particular, and I'm not going to say anything about it, but I will share about it later. Brother Don Allen, God bless you for showing up at the last minute. I know, I just had open heart surgery, and God is doing a miracle, and I believe it. I believe Brother Don Allen, pastor of First Century Church online, you have authority over it. It's not just you're being healed, or he can heal you, or you are healed. By his stripes, you are healed. You're more than a conqueror. You're an overcomer. Not only that, you have the authority. So we take authority over all symptoms, all ailments, all afflictions on God's people. Doing a miracle. Hallelujah. Yes. You are, brother. You are more than a conqueror. Gonna sign off. Mama said it's always a pleasure to see you. Always a pleasure to see you too, Mama. Thank you for showing up. Pastor Don Allen, God's not done with you yet. Got a purpose for you. And everything the enemy's been trying to do to discourage you and to slow you down and keep you hindered, that all is going away, because we take authority over everything that the enemy tries to plan. It's all under our feet. It's a past tense thing. It is finished, is what was declared by Jesus Christ, meaning it no longer exists. It's no longer a running function. When he said it is finished, that was present tense at the moment he said it. And from that point on, it's now past tense. By his stripes, we were healed. Not just Isaiah, declaring the future. By his stripes, we might be healed or whatever, but by his stripes, we are healed. But now, by his stripes, we were healed. It's over with. Amen. Keep up the good work. Thank you, sir. I want to have you on the show one of these days. I'd love to have you on. So maybe in a couple weeks. Got a lot of stuff that I'm working on, but Tuesdays at 11:30 a.m. is my time that I do my weekly podcast, and we'll go from there. So God bless you, Don Allen. Keep them in your prayers. Be uplifted, encouraged, and never be discouraged. Never back down on what God has called him to do, and praying for more strength and more ability for what God has called him to do. Take him from glory to glory. That's God's plan for all of us. Love you too, brother. Blessings on your ministry. All right, I have to sign off. I got to do part 2 of Moriah's respite today, so we got to make sure we hang in. So next time, call in, leave a message. 716-253-1870. You can call or text, leave a message anytime. I don't have to be live. I'll get to it when I come on and log on the next time. Make sure you go to the other podcasts. Go to ShawnPGreene.com. Shawn P. Greene, the Shawn P. Greene Show is on Facebook. You can watch that if you can. Watch that. Just fan like it so that we know that people are tuned in. And also Cash App or PayPal, ShawnPG716 at gmail.com for PayPal. Cash App is just ShawnPG716. So no donation is too small, and no donation is too big. There's no limit. I think 5,000 is the max that they can collect on Facebook or PayPal. So if you want to donate 5,000, you got to do in increments, maybe 2,500 here, 2,500 there. If you want to do 5,000 1 month, do it recurring. Hey, I'm not stopping you, bro. All of that goes to everything I do, whether it's the film festival, whether it's any Bible study that I might be a part of. I've been buying tons of Bibles everywhere I can for physical copies of the Bible because we don't know. We just don't know. Prepare, just like God was warning the Pharaoh about 7 years of famine. 7 years of plenty, 7 years of famine, using Joseph interpreting the dreams. God's using me to prepare for a possibility of Bibles not being available. So let's have physical copies. Let's be prepared, and let's walk like William Orange. And they might take our life, but they won't take our freedom. Kind of attitude. Thank you, Mel Gibson, for making that film. That was awesome. All right, so thank you, ShawnPGreene.com for everything, all the links, all the fun stuff. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for making me feel special by tuning in, dropping in, tuning in, tuning out, and drop out. No, tune on, tune off, drop out. I don't know. Whatever that weird thing was in the 70s, 60s, and 70s. So God bless you guys. Thank you for everything. Thank you for tuning in, and be blessed.